Hi, it's Joy, and today Grogu and I are going to be reacting to Star Wars Rebels Season 4, Episode 13, A World Between Worlds, which I'm guessing is where Ezra has gone. I am stressed, I am excited. Reminder that you can find all of my reactions to Star Wars Rebels up edited on my Patreon, and the edited versions are also all up there now if you're watching this on YouTube. I am stressed, I am excited, and I'm still very sad. I have put subtitles on for this episode because I got a comment suggesting that I was potentially not going to catch everything if I didn't, and I still might not catch everything. So they are on now. If you see them stop being on, it is because it's just a personal preference. I don't ideally like subtitles because I am a fast reader, and so I often feel like I've read what the person's going to say before they say it, and it takes me out of the emotion of it a little bit. Nothing against people who like subtitles. One of my best friends only watches things with subtitles. Each to their own. But yes, I don't want to miss anything either, so I've got them on and we will see how it goes. So yes, let's go.
What is this place? Conduit through which the entire force.
All the different voiceovers.
Won't let him lose his way. Not like I did.
Oh. Hello, my love.
You know, the Grand Admiral has spoken highly of your talents. You know, he's a
Oh, is he gonna
of your work.
take me on as my patron?
It must be so difficult for him now without his master.
Fuck off.
It's a pity he chose the path he did and fell to such a meaningless end.
You think
Fuck off. Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's true. You have an opportunity to help him if you help me.
He's manipulating you.
I think that you would control the universe.
Well, she's definitely not going to help you now.
Honestly, Zeb, I don't know where he is, and I doubt he does either.
It's not going great, but it's all going to be fine. Yeah, but though Ezra scenes can have subtitles and the other scenes won't, and that way I don't miss any of the voiceovers and I don't get annoyed by it in the rest of the time. Again, it's personal preference. There's nothing wrong with liking subtitles. I just don't. The owl.
Yeah, whenever Ahsoka was around.
Yep.
You were always close by.
Ahsoka. We're gonna see what happened, finally.
Ahsoka! What can I do?
Can he go through and help her?
Ahsoka!
Oh shit! No wonder they never found any sign of her.
I discovered these
He pulled her through
going
time.
through the Jedi. The painting has changed.
You noticed that, huh?
Yes. Do you care to share what their significance is?
We just thought it looked prettier this way.
How is it that you can read it?
Remember, I'm smarter than you.
One form of discourse.
Sabine. I'm not losing anybody else. Actually, can we reach through time? What's that one is again? Go to the second it exploded and grab Kanan. I'm just saying. We got to the second Ahsoka was going to die, we grabbed her. Let's go to the second Kanan was going to explode, grab him. No wonder they didn't find any sign of her afterwards. I mean, I knew... What must this have been like? Because obviously I knew she had to survive whatever happened in season 2 because I've seen her years later. So it's this little dude. Did you all think she was dead for all this time?
And where's Kanan?
We're gonna go find him.
I've missed a lot.
Kanan is part of the cosmic force now. There are ways those who have passed on may still guide or influence the living. It's not impossible.
I can do it. I can save Kanan just like I saved you.
Ezra.
You can though, that's the thing.
Ezra, wait!
If he does it at the exact second the explosion was gonna happen. Right? Like, when they were a safe distance away, like they were, if he times it right, he can grab Kanan the same way he grabbed Ahsoka. Don't tell me otherwise.
I can change things. I can stop Kanan from dying.
They're gonna stop him.
Don't know that.
Like I said, the specific second he was going to die, right before the explosion hit him, they're still safe. We have to be able to do it.
If he's taken out of this moment, you all die.
Not at the last split
Understand what
second!
you're asking me to do.
You can't save your master, and I can't save mine.
But we can save Kanan.
I'm asking you to
The
let go.
Last freaking second before the explosion hit. 1 second doesn't make a difference. And you can't, I don't care if you're going to tell me, oh, the second was everything. It wasn't everything. I knew this was where they were going to go, and that's why I didn't actually get my hopes up at any freaking point. Because yes, right now we can't drag Kanan right at this exact moment we're looking at, because in this exact moment the ship isn't far enough away. You let down the ship, starts to fly away, Kanan is doing what he's doing, then the explosion happens. As it's about to explode, literally the second it's happening, Ezra uses the Force, goes, I'll have him, yanks him through the portal. Explosion was going to happen either way at that moment in time. Ship's still flying away to safety. Everyone assumes he's dead because he's been sucked out of the Force. There is no longer the essence of Kanan Jarrus in the Force, and everything's fine. In my opinion, Ezra's going to come back here in like a year's time and be like, great, now there's no one stopping me. I'm just going to do this obvious thing. Denial is my friend. Ezra. I suppose his last act was pushing the ship away, wasn't it? Ezra could have put a bubble of Force protection around him.
Found the moment.
Sometimes I wish my life were different.
I
I
know.
wish I could see my mom and dad.
I can't go with you.
Perhaps I can.
Oh God. Oh.
Sun would close it.
There's something I didn't know.
Yeah, see? We can help each other.
Huh. I know that language too. Sorry about the mess.
Oh God. Come on, Sabine. Ezra?
She's coming through!
Oh.
Keep going! You can make it!
So look at you!
Come and find me!
I will!
Does she have to go back to her moment of deathening? So she was at the tomb the whole time. But she just had to hide out until these events had ended, because otherwise she'd change things. Come on, Ezra!
Ezra! Come on, get up! We're leaving!
We have to seal the portal!
Mm-hmm.
Come on!
Just a little bit surrounded.
Look out!
Oh my God! I knew I saw him clock that.
Chopper's got him.
Oh, my team. All aboard.
Chopper, get us out of here!
My family.
It's collapsing!
We did it.
Everything will be lost!
Yep. It's better than you having it. My loves.
Gonna be close!
Where are we?
The temple.
What? Where? I mean, how?
Yeah.
You tell me.
She's holding Kanan.
He's gone now, isn't he?
No.
I mean,
Yes.
No.
In a way, Kanan showed me. One last lesson.
You had a lifetime of lessons to teach you. I don't want Kanan to be a random Lothwolf for all of eternity. Away from his fucking family. We at least have a pet Lothwolf.
Goodbye, Kanan.
It is important to acknowledge your grief and to let it go, but also extremely unnecessary. okay, well, I'm still really sad, and I still live in my denial land. We're going to find another way to get to that place, because there's more than one gateway to get to that place, and then we're going to figure out a way to just grab Kanan out. And I may be disregarding every lesson that episode was supposed to teach me, but you know what? Consider them disregarded. No, I love the concept of that. I loved how it tied back into the old Jedi lore with the daughter, son, and father. I loved seeing Ahsoka again, and I suppose Ezra technically saved her life because he pulled her out of the moment where she would have fallen to her death, and then she just ran back through into the same area. So we know how she survived, and we know why. Having survived, she's neither Vader's prisoner, nor is she able to come back and help out the rebellion, because if she were to return, it could change things, the events from happening the way they did happen. I get they tried to show us again that, like, seeing it again, Kanan's final moment was giving the ship its push to be far enough away from the blast to survive. But, like, you could Ezra could, from his point of view, put a little force field around Kanan, because Kanan is using all of his force to save his family and his love. You know, everyone he loves. He's saving them, almost everyone, because 2 of them are off. But while that was happening, Ezra could have been on the other side of the portal, just doing a little Kanan bubble. And then once the explosion's over, we just Kanan through. Then we put Kanan back, and Kanan goes and hides, and then Kanan is fine. I personally believe that's what they should have done. Yes, it would have meant on rewatches Kanan's death is less impactful, but you know what? That is what I like. I mean, my biggest issue with shows is when they kill characters off in a way that is meaningless and in a way that doesn't help the story, that doesn't fit the character, that's kind of just like a slap in the face to the fans just for shock value. This wasn't that. So it's not... It's the kind of death I can get behind. But I still live in denial. That is the way I roll. You know, a lot of modern day shows, they have this whole tendency of trying to be like Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead, where, like, you know, any second somebody could just drop down dead and you had no idea it was coming. And it's like certain shows, like the ones I just mentioned, that is in the DNA of the show. So you go into that show and you're expecting it to happen, and it's fine. Normal shows shouldn't have that. It's maybe there was a point where it genuinely was shocking, and now it's just like, oh, on this average show I'm watching, someone's going to drop dead. Kanan's death wasn't that. It was impactful. It kind of was chosen in the sense that, like, he knew it was coming and he chose to give his life to save the people he cared about. But at the same time, he was so young and he had lost so much in his life, and he had so much life left to live and people to live it with. He deserved to see the galaxy finding its way out of the darkness of the Empire. He deserved to get to build a life where they weren't constantly living in fear with his family, and I'm forever going to be angry at them for taking that from him. I think, yes, it's made these episodes emotional, but having him be thought dead and then turn out to not be dead is even better in my book. Those are almost my favourite kind of plot lines, where someone is, you think they're going to die, or they do die, but then they're not actually dead, because you get both emotions. You feel the sad, heart-wrenching emotions, and I am someone who will still cry at something on a rewatch in that regard, even though I know they're going to be okay, because in the moment the characters I'm watching don't know it's going to be okay. And then you get the happy emotions afterwards, where you're like, oh my god, they're alive, oh, and it's everything. But we're not getting that in the show. In my denial world, we're getting it. I think it is important that we saw Ezra, sort of Ahsoka, being able to help him and guide him, and I'd like to think that going forwards he's not going to be the only Jedi he knows. He's going to be able to be in contact with Ahsoka. They will have each other, and he has obviously Hera in the family, but he has someone else that was a Jedi. I know she technically wasn't at the end, but he has someone else to share that with. The mission in general, I thought the random art man and his, like, genuinely, like, oh, I thought Sabine, I thought we could have some art times together, was kind of, I mean, it was amusing, but it was a good way to get information from her and for her to stay alive. And he helped her figure out how to close it, which screwed them all over. The idea that, I mean, I did wonder if Kanan should become the wolf in the previous episode, and like I said, I'm hoping that now his spirit's just going to go be at peace with the rest of the Force, because I don't really like the idea of him just being a wolf now. Without, if all of them became wolves, it would be better. But I think it's beautiful to think that no matter what, even after death, he's still reaching with everything he has to help Ezra and to help his family. So yeah, this was a lot. I'm so proud of Ezra. I'm happy to see Ahsoka again. I'm proud of our whole team. 2 episodes left. Very stressed. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions to Star Wars Rebels on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.